What if I told you that reality is constantly trying to communicate with you, but you've been conditioned to ignore it? Every single day, subtle messages are placed along your path. Moments so precise they can't be dismissed as mere accidents. The song that starts playing just as you think of someone. The number that follows you everywhere. A stranger who randomly appears with exactly the answer you were searching for. You've probably brushed these off as coincidences, but deep down you've always felt they meant something more. And you're right. Synchronicities are not accidents. They are messages, patterns embedded within reality itself, guiding you towards something greater. Ancient civilizations understood this. Mystics and philosophers studied these signs. But in today's world, we're taught to dismiss them as luck, chance, or randomness, because the system doesn't want you to realize the truth. These moments are evidence that the universe is far more intelligent and responsive than you've been told. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain and reveal what synchronicities truly are, why they occur, and how you can use them to transform your life. From birth, you were conditioned to believe in a world of logic, order, and predictability. Everything needed to be rationally explained, and anything outside that framework was labeled imagination or coincidence. But what if that conditioning was never accidental? What if it was designed to blind you from the deeper forces influencing your life? As a child, you were naturally attuned to energy, patterns, and intuition. You noticed how events aligned perfectly. You could feel when something was about to happen or instinctively sense when someone was thinking about you. But when you shared those experiences, you were told it was just your imagination. Slowly, you learned to ignore your intuition and trust only what could be measured, tested, and categorized. The world was presented to you as purely physical, devoid of mystery, intelligence, or design. And so, you stopped paying attention. Education played a huge role in this suppression. Schools didn't teach you how to trust your intuition or recognize synchronicities. Instead, they trained you to memorize facts, follow rules, and obey authority. Creativity and abstract thinking were pushed aside in favor of cold logic and measurable data. The system taught you to trust only external authority, never your inner knowing. Science became the modern gatekeeper of truth. But not true science, the kind that explores the unknown. Instead, a rigid materialist version took hold, insisting everything could be explained by randomness and chance. Under this model, synchronicities are dismissed as nothing more than your brain playing tricks, confirmation bias, cognitive error, wishful thinking. But here's what they don't tell you. Some of the most brilliant minds in history, Carl Jung, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, recognized that reality wasn't as random as we've been led to believe. They understood that patterns and meaningful coincidences were clues to a deeper truth. Yet today, society mocks those who embrace these signs. Speak openly about synchronicity and you risk being labeled superstitious or delusional. This ridicule isn't accidental. It's a method of control. Because once you begin to notice the signs, you awaken to your own power. Synchronicities are not just curious events. They are evidence that you are connected to something much greater than yourself. And that's a truth the system doesn't want you to uncover. That's why I created Insights Academy, where we explore the full picture of the hidden forces shaping reality. Sign up now and you'll receive a free copy of the Kybalion, one of the most powerful texts on universal laws. The link is in the description. The real reason society trains you to ignore synchronicities is this: they reveal the cracks in the illusion. They prove that reality is responsive, not indifferent. That it reacts to your thoughts, feelings, and energy. And once you begin to see the patterns, you can't unsee them. That's when the real awakening begins. At some point, you've had a moment so perfectly timed it felt impossible to be random. You think about someone you haven't spoken to in years and they suddenly call. You open a book and read the exact words that answer a burning question. You see repeating numbers, 111, 222, 333, everywhere like breadcrumbs reality has left for you. These aren't coincidences, they are messages. And the more you notice them, the more they appear. Why? Because synchronicities are signals from a deeper intelligence. A force that has been guiding you quietly all along. The universe isn't a random collection of events. It's an interconnected web of energy and consciousness. Your every thought, emotion, and intention sends out a frequency, and synchronicities are the universe's response. They are the bridge between the visible and invisible, the conscious and subconscious. Carl Jung coined the term synchronicity after witnessing countless examples of meaningful coincidences. He believed they were not random, but manifestations of a deeper, hidden order. Ancient traditions called it divine timing, karma, or fate. Quantum physicists refer to it as non-locality, the idea that everything is connected beyond time and space. And yet, mainstream science continues to ignore the evidence. But consider this, the entire universe is built on patterns, fractal geometry, planetary orbits, even your DNA. So why would human experience be any different? Synchronicities are proof of that hidden design. They are not glitches, they are revelations. So, where do these synchronicities come from? Some believe it's your higher self, guiding you toward your path. Others think it's the collective unconscious, a field of shared human wisdom. And some say it's a divine intelligence, the universe itself, or even a simulation trying to reach out. Whatever their origin, one thing is clear, they're not meaningless. They are invitations to wake up, to pay attention, to stop living on autopilot. Once you recognize them, the illusion of randomness begins to break down. You step into the role of conscious creator. But how do synchronicities actually work? At their core lies a simple truth. Your mind isn't just observing reality, it's actively shaping it. Modern neuroscience confirms that your brain filters reality based on what you focus on. This is called the reticular activating system, RAS. It explains why, after buying a new car, you suddenly see it everywhere. Your brain is now tuned in. The same applies to synchronicities. The more you believe in them and expect them, the more your mind begins to perceive them. But this goes deeper than neuroscience. Quantum physics shows that observation affects outcome. Consciousness shapes the material world. Combine this with the law of vibration. Everything is energy, including your thoughts and feelings. The frequencies you emit determine what you attract. Fear and scarcity bring more of the same. But alignment and purpose bring synchronicities. And here's the twist. Your subconscious is working behind the scenes. It picks up on patterns and symbols. It weaves together the events that guide you. When you set a powerful intention, your subconscious begins aligning reality with that outcome. Skeptics say it's all selective attention. But that doesn't explain why these events carry such deep personal meaning, or why they show up exactly when you need them most. Synchronicities are a conversation between your conscious mind, subconscious awareness, and the deeper intelligence of the universe. So why do some people experience them constantly, while others never notice them? It comes down to three things: awareness, alignment, and belief. Most people are stuck in rigid logic and disbelief. They live in a loop of disconnection. Even when a sign appears, they dismiss it. Others, however, live in tune with synchronicity. They trust their inner guidance. They recognize the signs and act on them. And because of that, they experience more of them. Their subconscious is wired for synchronicity. Their energy is aligned. And their trust strengthens the connection. Want to experience more synchronicities? Start here. 1. Set a clear intention. Ask the universe for signs. Be specific. Trust the response. 2. Align your energy. Let go of resistance. Meditate. Practice gratitude. Visualize your desires. 3. Take inspired action. Synchronicities are invitations, not just messages. You must act when they appear. The more you do this, the more the universe responds. Most people wait for certainty before acting. But certainty comes after action, not before. The universe whispers first. If you ignore it, it gets louder. If you keep ignoring it, the signs stop. But if you listen, if you follow, your whole reality begins to shift. This is what we dive deep into at Insights Academy. Go to the link in the description to join and receive the Kybalion ebook free. And if this message resonated with you, leave a comment saying, "I understood it." Because synchronicities are not rare. They are everywhere, just waiting for you to finally see them.